Hi, my name is Shauna Thompson, and this is practice speech number 4. Barack Obama. We all know him as our 44th president and the first black president of our country. Some were excited for his new plans and promises that he had for our country, and some were not. This is why some of you may or may not voted for him. It was exciting for our country to have the first black president because he made history, but maybe his plans and promises didn't exactly work out the way that we had hoped. First, Obama's health care plan. This bill was to reform the health insurance industry and American healthcare system as a whole. Some people would and some people wouldn't like this. What Obama's healthcare does is provides Americans access to affordable quality healthcare. Obamacare was signed into law on March 23, 2010. The bill mandates that all Americans have health insurance by 2014 or we have to pay a tax penalty. Obamacare was ruled to be a tax and not a mandate. With Obamacare, low to middle income Americans will get subsidies towards their insurance. This also gives protections, including insurance companies no longer being able to deny individuals for pre-existing conditions or being able to drop their coverage for being sick. The cost of this would be around $1.1 trillion over the next 10 years, but plan to have $143 billion in reduction to our national deficit. Sure, we knock out $143 billion, but you're still adding to the deficit. And doesn't that defeat the purpose of saying this? This is according to ObamacareFacts.com. What I understand about Obamacare is that it makes employers check to see if they have health care for their employees, and if the employees don't have health care, then the employer must supply them with health care. And if the employees don't have health care, what is the employer going to do? Yep, fire the employees that don't have health care. Firing these employees would make it so the employer doesn't have to pay that money for health care for them. Second, the gun control policy. Yes, it is supposed to keep us safer, but I live in Wyoming and I love to exercise my Second Amendment. Living in Wyoming, there's a lot of hunting, which my family is very into, as you can see. We like to go hunting every year, and we like to have the necessary guns to do that. We also have it very easy in buying guns. We don't have to have a state permit or firearms registration. Gun laws differ from state to state though. With this gun control law, if we are going to have this come into play, why did we have to wait until children were killed? We had a high school shoot-up with Columbine, and yet this gun policy wasn't pushed like it is now. I am very equal with this because I do like that we are trying to keep Americans safer from guns, but if someone wants to kill someone, I think that they're going to find a way to do it, nevertheless if they can have guns or not. Lastly, spending that Obama has budgeted. According to Forbes.com, Obama's budget proposed to add $160 billion to next year's budget. Over the next 10 years, President Obama's budget proposes to add nearly $1 trillion to the projected growth in spending. I think that the budgeted spending is getting a little out of hand. Also, Obama's spending on his own. Does he spend this money on the country, or does he spend it with his own dime? He has access to his own private jet that he can fly wherever he wants to and doesn't have to pay for airfare. He takes his family on extreme vacations for only getting paid what the president gets paid. What are we spending on costs so much, and why aren't we making any money to get rid of the deficit? In conclusion, with the reasons that I just listed above, I don't think Obama can restore faith in our government. All the promises and plans to lower the deficit hasn't been fulfilled yet. And yet, If you aren't being able to keep your promises, then why make them in the first place? It just lets Americans down. Just like me, he let me down.